today we brought in again different stakeholders as a continuation to these other events that we've been doing. And what basically we are trying to do here is, now link all these three components of the Hatua project towards coming up with sustainable solutions that in the next phase now we are going to present them to different relevant groups, let's say the ministries, where now they can be taken into action and be implemented in the real market world. Now this we're looking at now taking them to the citizens for use.
I'm the head for Tech for Governance segment inside the Hatua Project. So basically the Tech for Governance does what it does, it deals or it brings together stakeholders from different sectors here in Dar es Salaam to discuss about issues that involve governance and the civic engagement.
We're here today thinking of ways to use technology for government, Tech for G. Education, really big problem in Tanzania, coming from mass failures of students year to year, large numbers of people being accepted into institutions without the proper credits. We're trying to look for interesting ways to use technology to support young students and provide them with the resources to pass these exams.
I'd like to welcome on stage Jumanne, who's going to be taking us through the session today.
The aim of the challenge definition session is to come up with a challenge question that can be hacked during the civic hack sessions. So you guys are going to come up with the challenge statements today, like this is a challenge and it needs to be fixed. So tell your techies whatever they do, tell your innovators whatever they do, they need to solve this problem. And that is what we are looking to achieve here today. We are going to do two activities. We are going to do case analysis and we are going to do futuristic scenarios. So we are going to use a tool called Future Wheels. Future Wheel is like analyzing the primary consequence and the secondary consequence of a certain event or an activity which is happening. Like right now there's a lot of things that are trending. There's a lot of events that are happening. Some people might take those events lightly, and some people might be asking themselves questions critically about those events. For example, right now, so many people are talking about vyeti kuhakikiwa. So what can governance do that? Which solution can we come up to help the government to be able kuhakiki vyeti vya watu, isije katokea like a national crisis ya kwamba tena eti vyeti 600. I'm going to distribute you guys into teams. Each team will have to come with a trend. At least 4 trends that's happening. Maybe 4 trends that's happening in the education sector in Tanzania. And another team will come up with 4 trends that are happening in the health sector in Tanzania. I'll distribute you into 4 groups.
I saw another thing, if you guys saw the students from Tegeta High, Tegeta High School, they had a revolt because they said some of them, the teachers did not attend classes January. Some of them, they're vented from 2, they've never studied anything and they're expected to do the mocks and the nationals. So it means those people did not have any place to keep their quiet until they had to revolt, to call the journalists and whatever.
Because even here at UD, if a teacher doesn't show up for the first 3 weeks, we're like, extra vacation, whatever, like.
Huduma kama huduma, service, the standard of the service in government or sectors.
Chronic disease magonjwa ambayo hayatibiki kama cancer, painkillers, resistance.
Leads to
resistance ni mbaya sana. Unapohama kutoka dawa moja kwenda dawa nyingine, kwanza inachukua muda mrefu kuipata ile dawa. Lakini pia wadudu wanapokuwa wametengeneza usugu, ina maana inaweza kusababisha huyu mtu asitibiwe ikapelekea huku.
Sisi tumesema unemployment for teachers inasababisha decrease of government revenue. Nakubali?
Hamna, hiyo haikubali kwa sababu revenue ya taifa haitegemei walimu.
So 2 people from team lishe, je kutuelezea hapa mmepata idea gani? Trend gani mbili mmezi analyze? Alafu mtatuambia hapa mmechagua ipi ambao mnaona you move forward with it.
So the trend is the shortage of medical supplies. This looks both at pharmaceutical and other medical supplies, injections, bandages, and all of that stuff. So first of all, there's lack of services, right? And then, because that would definitely lead to preventable death. So this could, if you look at an example of vaccine, a baby does not get vaccination, and then we're all going to the graveyard. So lack of services, and then you have citizens that are not happy with the Ministry of Health, and then we don't vote for you, and then bigger problems. And then we have underutilized experts. So we have doctors that have all the genius minds and skills, but hey, guess what? There's no injections. They can't do much.
That was Team Lishe. So technically it means you just move forward with a shortage of medical supply. Next team.
Our first one was harsh corporal punishment. Yeah, so harsh corporal punishment happens all over the country. It's happened for a long time. What are some of the primary effects? Are physical and psychological child trauma. That's primary. A secondary effect of that could be increase in violence of the child, because psychologically the child is becomes prone to violence. A drop in academic performance, loss of interest or faith in education, apathy towards all teachers. This is an effect that is had on the parents. They see all the teachers in the same light. They no longer that trust relationship between the parent and the caretaker, which is the teacher taking care of their child. And there are many other issues, but these are some of the basics.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what was your name again? It's Abakazi, right?
So the first challenge was the lack of medicine. In government hospital, there's no medicine. If you get all the service, but no medicine. Poor provision of health education. The challenges are one of the challenges which is directly from poor knowledge of production health is the early marriage. Girls are forced into early marriage because they lack.
Okay, so let's listen to the final presentation from the final team.
Shortage of teachers or some teachers, they cause secondary consequences that is poor performance for students. As you know, if one teacher is teaching the whole school in one subject, students may not be competent in that subject. This is what we discussed in training number 1.
Poor services provided by them to the society. So it is okay.
So thank you so much. So let's move to the second part of the exercise. Kwenye hii trend moja moja, the first thing you do, you just put it into the pest analysis. Unaanza kuzigawa sasa. Primary consequence kwenye economical na secondary consequence kwenye economical. A statement should comprise of these three things. First, problem, and then relate the problem to the governance, and then the tool you are going to use to solve that problem. Sample statement, make a statement ili mwelewe. Sample statement, like a challenge statement, can be this one. How can we help the government to disseminate information to the people at the bottom of the pyramid about sexual reproductive health? So this is the statement. Meaning that I can do 5 whys on this. 5 whys meaning that I can ask myself 5 times, why is this necessary? So how can we help the government to disseminate information to the people at the bottom of the pyramid about sexual reproductive health? Why? Because it is important people to have this information so that they know about sexual reproductive health. Why? Because if they don't know about sexual reproductive health, then more kids will get pregnant and eventually more kids will go into the streets. Why? Because if more kids go to the street, it means government will have to spend more money taking care of those kids. So you need to come up with a statement in which the hackers can be able to deep dive in. Because the aim is to give them this statement for them to come up with a solution. So if it's the right statement, then they'll come with the right solution. They could just quickly say, we'll make an app for that. You're getting me? So we need to give them statement ambazo nao tutafanya waumize vichwa kwa kuelewa, now this is a big thing. We need to take on different component so that we can come up with a solution. Kila team ije na statement 2 ili tupate statement 8. Hackers wakija wataendelea kuzifanyia kazi. They should be in form of a case or a question so that they should be able to answer those questions.
tunaweza tukatoa statement gani ambayo inaweza ikawapa wale hackathon na wenyewe wachekeche vichwa ili kupata majibu kwenye swali letu?
Ni kweli ni kutofautiana kwa namba za wewe ukitoka shule ya msingi na namba nyingine ukafika chuo sekondari na namba nyingine, ukifika advance na namba nyingine, ukafika chuo kikuu na namba nyingine na vitu kama hivyo. Hilo ndio kweli ndio tatizo ambalo linasababisha tumishi hewa.
Unajua nyinyi mmekuwa map. You're trying to think of a solution. That's the job of the hackers. Sawa, haya twende.
Mkumbuke kwamba hizi statement ambazo mnakuja nazo they are very important. Zinatuguide sisi kwenye session ya civic hacking kuweza kuyatafutia majibu haya maswali. So this statement are kind of like, sawa, hamna tatizo. This was not your work. Itakachobaki hapo tutazishape vizuri mimi na Mariam baadaye. We will share this statement baada ya kufanya final reshaping. Asanteni sana. Thank you. Another team?
Improving academic performance in public secondary school by using technology that works for students, teachers, and policymakers.
How can this be achieved? I was looking for the how. So what is the key problem here? Performance. Academic performance, okay. Okay, cool. The second one?
How can we help the government use technology to ensure that students have access to sufficient support and resources to pass their exams?
Okay, so the problem here you are trying to solve is academic performance. And here the insufficient of resources. Trying to be more specific, okay? Students have access to sufficient support and resources to pass the exam. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Another team?
Better control
medical supply shortage. If I can read it loud, how can the government use cloud information sourcing to get a better understanding on how the medical products are consumed to better control medical supplies shortage? Wow, this is a good statement. It's like super specific. Now the hackers can hack this. Thank you so much. All right, last team. How government can create a reliable employment system for teachers.
Yes.
Do you want to rephrase it? Imekaa vizuri? Kuna vitu vya kuongezwa na kupunguzwa? Tunaenda kwenye ya pili. To help government to create an employment program for all workers. What does this mean?
All workers. It is likely.
Where is the question? How, like, to help government to create?
It's like just the first, but this works for
not only the
teachers.
Okay. Yeah, I will have a lot of work to do also. Sawa, sasa, thank you so much, guys.
We have got 4 challenges, and next week the techies are going to sit around and build tools to solve the challenges.
It was so interesting to hear from different people, different views, how, first of all, how this problem, how they understand this problem to begin with.
Having a discussion with others with different opinion coming from different institutions, organizations, and all that, and having different experience, you grasp something which is more useful.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do for the country. Hatua Project has brought in different stakeholders today. It was so much interesting that different stakeholders from health sector, from education, had a lot to discuss. We had a lot of conversation trending within our social media, a lot of conversation training inside house, whereby we learned different things, and also the stakeholders learned something more. Stay tuned. Meet us on our next Tech4G forum on December. Visit our pages, Facebook, Hatua Project, Twitter, @Hatua Project. Also, we trend with our hashtag Hatua Project. You can also visit our website, www.hatuaproject.org. Thank you and welcome.